Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Wrestling Edition. I'm your host, Bobby Sampson. Joined with me, as always, is the cleanly shorn man, Mr. Chance Michaels. Chance, how you doing, buddy?
Feeling good, man. How you doing?
Not bad, man. What happened to the beard?
What's that?
What happened to the beard?
Well, I figure you trimmed up, so I had a match.
Shit, hey, you went too far, bro. It's a completely different look. I don't think I've seen you
Yeah.
without a stash.
Yeah, I like to switch it up once in a while.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
Keep people on their toes.
How was your long weekend?
It's pretty good. How about yours?
Can't complain, man. Busy. Just catching up on odds and ends, getting everything ready for the little one as they get ready to get back to school. So yeah, all in all, just a fun, action-packed weekend. But summer is not over yet, even though the kids are back to school and everyone's back to work for the most part.
Yep.
But we still have summer. We still have another 2 weeks of summer to go. So hopefully things stay hot and a lot of hot stuff going on here. But first, why don't we just say to everybody, like and subscribe. Thank you if you've already liked and subscribed. And for those listening for the first time, please hit the notification button, hit that like button, and that's all we ask. The more you guys can support us, the better we can produce quality podcasts for you guys. And just kind of be able to share our thoughts. So yeah, please like and subscribe, hit that notification button. Samp_Chance. That's where our bio tree is, our Instagram page. There you'll
Yep.
find our links to everything. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube as well. So yeah, it's all there. But let's get right into it, man. Monday Night Raw, right after Clash for the Castle. Did you have expectations going into the show, Chance?
I did. Yeah.
And
I thought it was okay. I mean, obviously, maybe a little bit of a letdown after such a hot show, right? It was a decent Raw.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, it was good. Well, I don't think it
yeah.
was great, but I mean, after that hot show, it's hard to top that. You're still like up that high from the Clash. I
Well,
thought it
yeah.
wasn't bad. Raw overall was
No, it's
decent.
good. It's just kind of like to know where things are progressing and where things are kind of going with everything, right? So I mean, it's that
Mm.
wanting to know, and right off the bat, that's what they started with. Edge comes out to address the Dominic situation. That's kind of probably, like I said on Saturday, his best work to date. He looks amazing. He looks so good as a heel. I loved it. Comes out, he's calling him out, and basically Ray comes out though instead, asking for forgiveness on his behalf. And I think Edge said it best, man. He goes, he's old enough to drink, he's old enough to drive, he's old enough to get into this ring, he's old enough to pay his dues.
Yeah.
You
Fair
know,
enough.
and sure enough, Rhea Ripley comes out and they debut the Dominic of the Judgment Day. Here's kind of slick back. I think he might have dyed it a little bit
It's got the
darker.
mullet.
He's still got the mullet, but I mean he's got a parted mullet now, I guess. The best you can do with a mullet. I don't know what else you can. Um Judgment Day basically attacks Edge from behind. Oh, this was the interesting point. Ray leaves. He says, I don't want anything to do with this. This is your fight. He accepts it and whatnot. He tries to talk to Dominic as he's passing by, and Dominic won't even look at him. And he vows, Ray says he'll never fight his son. So if they're starting a slow build to this for WrestleMania, I think that's the good thing. They're doing it right that
You
way
know
at
what
least.
stole the thunder from that segment when Ray was talking to his kid?
Hmm.
Those 4 or 5 dudes in the crowd chanting, "You're ready, son. You're ready, son." It kind of caught Ray off guard a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. And it was so close.
He
It
kind of
sounded,
ignored it, but I think it kind of stole from the moment.
yeah, I know
It was
100%.
funny, but it threw Ray off
Speaking
guard,
of
I
which, that's
thought.
kind of like the second time now that production has kind of missed something or should have been more aware of it.
Yeah.
We didn't touch base on this. Did you see the guy who had the "I'm a better dad than Chris Benoit" T-shirt?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they had a guy standing there and he was his family, and they actually took like a shot of him, and he's
Oh,
wearing a
wow.
T-shirt that says "I'm a better dad than Chris Benoit."
Wow. Did they kick him out?
I don't know if they kicked him out or not, but I mean, it was something that should have been caught, right? I mean, in terms of
You'd think so. That's serious. Yeah.
yeah. But let's move on with the show. The Judgment Day kind of attacks them from behind. Ray comes out to help out Edge, but both of them end up in the dirt, and the four of the Judgment Day partners walk away with no issues. Basically, then you have the match with the New Day versus the Alpha Academy, Los Lotharios Street Profits in a fatal four-way match. I don't know if it was for number one contendership or anything, but this whole match was just basically a setup for the returning Braun Strowman. Guy looks amazing. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
he's lean. He's lost a lot of weight, toned
He's
up.
lost weight. He looks really good. I'm not sure about the red pants, the red tights.
Kind of silly, but
Uh,
he looks good though, body wise.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that that was the right way to debut him to destroying four teams? Like, I mean,
Not really. I don't think so. And beating up little small Chad Gable, I don't.
well, I mean, it almost feels like, okay, there's so much. I don't know if there was a lot of hype around his return back or what have you, but I almost feel they dropped the ball on it. Like, I almost feel they could have done something much more memorable.
So now what's he going to do? Who's he going to feud with? Is he going to feud with one of those teams or just kind of destroy everybody every Raw?
Well, I think it seems like he's just picking up from where he left off, which I wish they hadn't done with him or planning to do with him because I mean, he has a lot of potential. They have
He
to
does,
book
yeah.
him differently this time. They have to like he is beatable, right? So that's the thing. He's not like an Omos,
No, he's Lashley and Lesnar. There's some guys that can take him down.
right? There are some guys that can take him down, but I mean, I think it would be more fitting, in my opinion. But then again, that's kind of cutting into what they were trying to do with the Miz in the main event. But Bobby Lashley, like you said, hit the nail on the head. Only other guy in the Raw side of WWE that could even give him a run for his money the way he is, outside of Omos, maybe, right? I
Yeah.
mean, other guys used to kind of have to chop down at him. Like, I mean, I guess Seth Rollins could. I mean, a guy who has technical skills, more of a
Yeah, it could be
technical
done,
background,
but
it can be done. But I would have liked to have seen him, and you know what? We'll talk about that when we get to the main event here. Hold on here. I'm having a little technical issue. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, technical issue again. Pardon me. So back to Raw. Yeah. So basically, you had the women tag team champions come out. Rodriguez and Aaliyah defeating Nikki Ash and Dewdrop. I'm kind of hoping to see these two break up here at some point.
I
Something's got
wouldn't
to
mind
give.
that either. I agree with you on that.
Something has to give. Dewdrop is a pretty cool talent, and Nikki has potential. I mean, she's trying to she's doing all the right things in my opinion, reinventing herself, trying to come up with new gimmicks and whatnot. But Dewdrop's a special kind of talent. Like I really feel that they can do a lot with her, and she's really getting lost on the shuffle. And I don't think the women's division is a place where you should be able to get lost in the shuffle. There's enough space for all the ladies there. I mean,
Yeah,
considering
well,
the
I
size of
agree.
the roster. Um, Basically, that was that. Kevin Owens, Austin Theories have a fight here. They come out. Austin Theory comes out and he's blaming Tyson Fury for costing him the chance to cash in the Money in the
Money in the
Bank,
bank,
and
yeah.
brings out Kevin Owens. What I'm thinking now is pretty much angry face.
That's what it seems to be.
You
I,
know,
I was surprised that Owens beat him clean like that.
they do that to him a lot, though. If you think about it, Theory goes through like two or three, four losses at one
Yeah, I don't
time. Like he
understand.
lost
He's
to
young, he's
Dolph.
built. Like, I don't understand why they're putting him down.
I don't think they're putting him down. I think they're building him just right. They don't like. I mean, if you think about it, Cena kind of lost a lot like that too, a little bit, right? I mean, he got his ass handed to him by Brock at the pay per
Yeah,
view and whatnot. So I mean, if you're trying to build the guy the right way, I think this is the right way. Like you're giving him his wins, he's getting his losses. He still has that briefcase. That's never gonna change anything
yeah.
for him, right? Um, and they're just trying to keep it open with him, like, okay, the kid's still learning, he's still this and that, he's still cocky and arrogant. It'd be too much, I think, for fans alike, fans of him or against him, to see him constantly getting his way. You see
Yeah, but a
moments
guy
like
like,
that.
I don't know, to see a guy like Kevin Owens beat him clean, I don't know. I didn't like that. I wish he
Well,
would have cheated or something.
well, I
It was a good
possibly
match. I
no, it's a
mean,
good match, but like I said, I think they're trying to rebuild Owens too now.
yeah.
So, they're trying to get him to a certain level as well, because I think at some point he's going to have to contend for something, right? And so I can see that, and I don't have a problem with it myself personally because I don't think it hurts any guy. It doesn't hurt Theory in any way,
No, I know. I just don't like seeing
right?
an older guy like Owens put down a young guy like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I understand why though, but I just don't like it.
yeah, yeah. So Champa gets his first name back too. So everyone who lost their first names have gotten it back. So Tommaso Champa now,
Yeah.
he's back. He's got Johnny Gargano has a little segment where it says he's gonna be back next week to have his first match on Raw. So kind of looking forward to that, seeing what he's got. He's been out for a while.
Yeah.
So that should be kind of interesting. Damian Priest defeated Rey Mysterio after the match. Rhea Ripley said Dominic Mysterio will face Edge next week and put him back into retirement. So there you go. They're slow build here now, man. Nice and slow.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. After Braun Strowman said that nobody is safe and he will appear on Friday Night SmackDown. So I guess he's just going to make his rounds now, right?
Yeah,
And
get him back in the mix.
get him back in the mix. Um, Matt Riddle, like we talked about, challenges Seth Rollins to a rematch at Backlash. Um, and exactly
When
what we
is
were.
Backlash?
It's in October,
Okay.
October 8th, I believe it is. October
Okay.
8th or 9th, something like that. Yeah. It's in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so some of our followers are from Philadelphia. Hopefully, they'll be at that show and they can let us know what's going on with it. So it's ramping up. So that's the next show there. There will probably be no Roman Reigns, just so you know. And
Cut
so he
Backlash,
won't.
probably not. No.
Yeah, he won't be defending anything there. I think the next date for him will basically be at Crown Jewel in November.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, just I'm going to put on the record now. This is as a bold prediction. This could be right, could be wrong. Who knows? But I think if Cody Rhodes is healthy, he's going to come back, win the Royal Rumble, challenge Reigns, and take the belt off him at Mania. That's my prediction. That's who will take the belt from Reigns, just because they want to build him. He's an indie kind of AEW guy, and they want to give him the strap. I think that's what's going to happen. And I'm glad that Drew didn't take the belt off Reigns, because it'd be nice to see Cody get it. So that's what I think. We'll see what happens.
I think the belts are going to be split up before any of that happens. I'm not saying you're wrong. I could see that potentially that Cody winning, but if they're building up to a Rock Reigns WrestleMania, which is still, still
It's
being talked
possible. I don't know if
about.
Rock can even go. Like, he didn't look very good. It was 8 years ago. He barely moves. So I don't know. He looks, the body's great, but he can barely move in there. So I don't know what he's going to be like now.
But you know what though, man? I mean, it's right up your alley. This is for the casual fan, isn't it?
No, hey, trust me, I would rather the Rock any day over Cody Rhodes. So I hope it
Yes.
happens.
But I almost have a feeling that the titles have to be something has to happen here. There's no way he can go into Mania with both titles fighting The Rock, having a Royal Rumble winner as well
Yeah,
involved somehow, right? Unless they do some kind of, you know, Brett Lex Yoko style type of match where both guys have to have two matches and everyone basically has two matches a night.
yeah.
So
Something's got to
just
give with the two
right.
belts.
So something has to happen there. Like one guy can have a belt to challenge the Royal Rumble winner, but if they're going with Rock Reigns, then I just don't see how that can be possible. But yeah, I can see Cody coming back and winning the Rumble, no problem with that at all. I see that happening. I think that's already booked, to be
Could be,
honest. Right? I mean, the way he was shooting them up and everything, and the way AEW is right now, I'm
and
sure
it's too bad that Triple H has a defibrillator in his chest, because wouldn't it be great to see Cody Rhodes and Triple H have a small little program together after he bashed the King's throne at AEW and talk all that smack? That feud would
brother,
be hot.
brother, never say never.
Yeah.
Never say never. I mean, even if it's a light working schedule, whatever the case may be, I'm sure they could pull something off. That potentially could happen.
Could be like a McMahon Austin kind of thing. We don't got to wrestle too
Kind
much,
of.
but bang around a bit.
Yeah, kind of. And I think he's good for it. I mean, I know you're looking at Triple H, you can tell that he still has physique. He still works
Oh, he's
out.
still in great shape.
He's probably a little smaller than he used to be, but I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, the guy's still in shape. And so who knows?
He
He
can
still
still
could
go.
probably
Yeah.
go. Still probably go. That brings us to the main event of Raw, and it was basically Bobby Lashley fighting The Miz for the U.S. title in a steel cage match. Reason for this is so The Miz can feel safe and out of range from Dexter Loomis. Interesting story these two guys are having together here. So your basic straightforward match. I'm going to say Bobby Lashley won,
Yeah.
right? And after the match, you see. Oh, sorry, it was yeah. Well, what? Sorry, pardon me. The Miz was trying to climb out of the cage,
And
and
Loomis is
Dexter
lying on the
and
ground.
Loomis is laying on the ground, looking straight up at him, which cost him the loss. Lashley was able to pull him down, finish him off, get the pin. Blah blah blah. Match is over. There you go. Dexter Loomis comes in and basically puts him to sleep, and that's that. This is where I think Braun should have made his debut.
Doing that. Coming out here, yeah.
Coming out here at the end of the match, as the cage is coming up or the cage is still down, Lashley's alone in the ring. He could have still had all the Dexter stuff and Miz storyline before that. But at the end of the show, you can say, "Oh, here's Lashley. He's going to give the fans a little, bit of a post down, whatever, blah blah blah." And then enters Strowman.
Yeah,
That
that
would
would have
have
been
been,
cool.
I think that would have been a much better way of doing it, opposed to the way of him coming and just like now you get discredited the Street Profits, right? Out of all the teams there, I would say you discredited the Street Profits the most.
Yeah.
I mean, the New Day's already beat up and stuff. It's kind of they didn't really take too much from Braun, but I mean, I think that hurt the Profits more than any other team there. Doesn't hurt the New Day. New Day is always going to be great. I
Yeah,
mean, you got Otis, and Gable, who are basically your comedy tag team. I mean,
yeah.
they're there. They're funny. They're good hands.
Lost Lotharios.
Los Asterios are probably the one team on that totem pole that it wouldn't have hurt them either way,
Yeah.
right? It's not going to change their status because they're not that high up on the bar, anyways.
No, they're just happy to be there.
Yeah, no, 100%. So that's basically Monday Night Raw, man. Like I said, decent show,
It's
well
decent,
paced.
yeah.
I liked it. It was not too shabby. Nice little highlight packages from the weekend and whatnot. And you know what? Thank you, Cardiff, the crowd, anyways, for being loud and boisterous and making it that much more enjoyable for those of us sitting at home watching. But hey,
Yeah.
let's go. I want to talk about your buddy, your
CM
best
Punk,
friend. Oh wow, hey, this guy's just not stopping.
he's out of control, man. You need to send him home.
I don't think you can, but I think he's basically running the company now, in my opinion.
I, I don't know what happened backstage, or he fought with the Bucks and Kenny
Okay,
Omega.
yeah, he basically and Ace Steel. I gotta do my research on this because I don't know much about Ace Steel. I know the name, but I don't know where he came from and how all of a sudden he's like Punk's number one guy. Like he looks at his wife looks after Punk's dog backstage.
This is one of the agents backstage. This Ace guy.
Ace guy, yeah, he's like one of the agents. Just basically just one of the guys, man. So here's basically what happened. So CM Punk comes back, he beats Moxley for the title. Yeah. MJF comes out, reveals himself as the Joker. So at the beginning of the night, they had I think it was this eight man ladder match.
Okay.
And they have a big poker chip up there, and they call that the Joker chip or whatever. It's just their version of Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
right? So basically, these guys are all fighting, and all of a sudden, all these dudes come out and beat everyone up, and this guy comes out in this really cool looking mask, walks up the ladder, grabs the chip, and walks away. Later revealed it's MJF
MJF.
who's back. Yeah. And it was really cool. The whole thing was work, obviously, him being gone and whatnot. So the very first thing, the lights go out and they basically have this phone message, Tony Khan leaving a voicemail for MJF saying, listen, I know you don't care about the fans, but I need you to come to All Out, blah blah blah. I'll put you in the Joker match, and I'll pay you beep. So they don't tell you how much he's getting paid, right? All you got to do is just show up at All Out. And then all of a sudden, they show this little segment of Punk in Ring of Honor where he turned heel after he won the title, and he said, "I'm the Snake," right? And then you got MJF saying, "Well, I'm the devil," and he comes out. Crowd just went ballistic for him. And I think this is, I could be completely wrong. I don't know, but we're in Chicago. And this crowd went fucking ape shit for MJF
Did
with
they?
Punk standing in the ring, holding the belt up in his arms, covered in blood. The fans were just nuts for MJF. This
Interesting
is
in Punk's hometown.
in Punk's hometown.
Did they? And what was the attendance for? They ended up selling that place out.
I don't even know, bro. I didn't even go that deep into it. I've just kind of caught. I kind of, to be fair, I saw all the matches except the last two. To be honest, I couldn't get to them yet. I'm still go back and watch Daniel Bryan Jericho, or Brian Danielson, sorry, Jericho, and the Punk Moxley fight. I am kind of curious to see how he beat him, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know how it played out. I don't know anything how the matches actually went, which is great. Even though I know the outcome, I still want to watch the match to see
Yes.
how
Yeah.
they
It went
got there,
down.
right?
Yeah.
So basically, AEW, this is something they've always done after their pay-per-views. They do those media scrums with the talent coming up. WWE did that for the first time in Cardiff, right? It was
Yeah.
kind of interesting, but
Seen that.
AEW's kind of looks more like a press conference. That's one thing they do better than WWE right now.
Yeah.
But that being said, if WWE decides to kind of continue with this after pay-per-views,
They'll get better at it.
I'm sure they'll get better at it as it goes, right? But here's how it went down. So one announcer basically asked them um, about the Hangman Page situation and how other people backstage played a role. This is what he said, and this is quotations, right? This is word for word. The fact that I have to sit up here because we have irresponsible people who calls themselves EVPs and couldn't fucking manage a target. And they spread lies and bullshit and put it out to all the media that I got someone fired when I have nothing to do with him, referring to Colt Cabana.
Yeah.
So everything stems around him and Colt Cabana. Everyone thinks, a lot of people think, including the Bucks and Omega, as it seems now, that Punk had something to do with Tony Khan moving him to Ring of Honor.
Of course he did.
Initially almost having him let go, but then moving him to Ring of Honor when they bought the promotion.
I totally believe Punk. He's such a crybaby, he's such a whiner, such a bitter jerk. I totally believe that.
Yeah. He continues on here, Punk does. I want nothing to do with him. Do not care where he works, where he doesn't work, where he eats, where he sleeps. And the fact that I have to get up here and do all this in 2022, it's fucking embarrassing. He continues, and and if you're all at fault, fuck you. If not, I apologize. So that kind of set it off there, right? So basically what happened there is he goes off on Hangman for a little bit then, right? So the whole issue with Hangman is this: Hangman came out and cut a promo, right? Like a shoot style promo saying that, whatever he said about Punk and whatnot, that didn't sit tight with Punk, right? So that's when Punk came out and did that shoot promo at the beginning of the show, which wasn't even scheduled. So that's why Hangman never came out at that time, because it wasn't, nothing was scheduled.
Yeah.
He followed the rules. He didn't go out there and engage with him as he wanted him to. So from that perspective, you know what I mean? I got to give it to Hangman a little bit. But, saying what Hangman said too, I could see where Punk gets annoyed or pissed off. But I mean, it's just comments, right? It shouldn't affect you. You've been at this long enough. So here's what he has to say about Hangman in this press conference. What did I ever do in the world to deserve an empty-headed fucking dumb fuck like Hangman Adam Page should go out on national television and fucking go into business for himself? For what? What did I do? What did I ever do? This is CM Punk again. Didn't do a goddamn thing. That's not my position to make it very clear that I don't want anything with Cabana being here talking about Tony Khan. Want to hear more?
Yeah, keep it going.
All right, man. There are people who call themselves the EVPs that should have fucking known better. This shit was none of their business. Another jab at the Bucks and Kenny Omega. I think so. Then he goes on to talk about Max MJF. Okay, I think Max is a supremely talented individual, but this goes for him and anyone else in the locker room who doesn't want to be here. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And like Max likes to shit where he eats instead of watering the grass.
Isn't that what Punk did in WWE?
Pretty much, right? Yeah, no, he's such a contradiction. So here's what happened. So that happened Sunday night. Monday in the morning, I guess they all kind of met up at some place, or they all saw each other somewhere, and words were had. Like, like at the end of the day, the company was started by the Bucks, Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, and Tony Khan. Tony Khan was the money, but the brains and everything behind everything were those four guys.
Yeah.
Right? Not even Jericho. Jericho was brought in as that name guy. Right?
Yeah, but do the Bucks and Omega, they own any of the company at all?
I don't know if they own any of the company because it's all Tony's money, right?
If I was Tony Khan, I'd remove him out of that position.
Yeah,
because you can't be a worker and be the vice president. It creates too much heat.
Well, I think it almost feels like they were doing a great job, and nothing was really troublesome until Punk came on the scene and started.
Well, the guy's nothing but a troublemaker. He's a brat,
right? I think so, anyways. Right? Everyone knew their role. It's not like these guys were putting the titles on themselves. I mean, if you think about it, Omega got the title maybe a year and a half after, Jericho had it. Jericho had it. Moxley had it, and then he had it. So he was the third champion. But I mean, it wasn't like those guys came in right off the bat and said, well, we're EVPs, we're going to do this. Like Cody, outside of the television title, never had the main title.
Yeah,
right.
True.
I mean, these guys were trying to put everyone else over in front of them. They knew they had the opportunities whenever they wanted it. Yes, the Bucks have been AEW Tag Team Champions now, but they never were in the beginning. There was a few teams that had the belts before them. They were not. None of these guys were inaugural champions in any way. Except maybe Cody with the TNT title. That's about it. No,
Yeah,
Brody had it first, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So even then, so it's just like for Punk to kind of say these things and whatnot. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's a lot of interesting things. So like a lot of people from the WWE as well have commented on this. I mean, they're all unnamed. Some people are calling him selfish. Some people are saying like, oh, now people are getting to see in AEW what this guy was doing here.
Yep.
You know, very similar to what you were saying.
Because
And
they
that's
got in a
coming.
fight, right? They
Yeah, and
got in a
that
physical altercation.
well, that's it. And this Ace Steel guy apparently one of the Bucks got knocked out.
Well, that's the thing, dude. What are the Bucks? 5'8", 5'9", 100. They're like built like they got a body of a 12-year-old girl.
They're
Hey,
six
these
two,
got
bro.
grown men beating up the young, but young Bucks aren't fighters.
They're 6'2".
Okay, well they're skinny as heck though. They're built like a 12-year-old girl. Their body, right? Like I mean, they're not fighters, and they shouldn't be. I believe they got knocked out, but Punk and Steelers shouldn't be. Pick on somebody
Well,
their own size.
Punk
Basically, what I'm
started
saying.
apparently. So this is all the reports are indicating that Punk started the fight. He's the one who threw hands first at Matt Jackson. Okay. And I think it was Matt who got knocked out. Don't quote me on it. I apologize if I'm wrong. But I believe Matt got knocked out, and his buddy Ace Steel threw a chair which hit Nick Jackson in the eye. And he apparently also bit Kenny Omega.
That's
This
weak. Fighting, grown man fighting.
well, this guy fired. Apparently, he's fired now from AEW. So I
Good.
mean, here's the thing. I think it feels like Tony Khan is losing control of what's happening backstage, and he's letting Punk have free reign with all his comments because he's sitting right beside him doing this press conference while he's saying all this shit.
No way, Vinny Mac would let that fly. You shut that down
No,
so fast.
right? The ratings on Rampage are down. Their numbers are
It's time to
hurting.
take the belt off Punk and send him home. Nobody will care. Like some people will miss him, but it's not going to make or break them. They'll be
Yeah,
fine. They were fine before he was there. They'll be fine now if he goes.
I don't know. Just it's really weird. It's
He's
like
now he's starting fights. You know what I mean? Like
like
I can promise you one thing: if that was Brock Lesnar or Braun Strowman, he wouldn't have been doing that.
no,
You know what I mean?
the only guy who ever stood up to Brock, I believe, was Jericho
Yeah.
when
And
he
he's
tried
lucky
to.
Triple H and McMahon pulled him off. He got a beating of his life.
But respect to Jericho, man.
Yeah, he still stood up to Goldberg too.
Yeah, he's old up to Goldberg as well. But yeah, I don't know what to make of this because it's like if you think about it a year ago today, I mean, as we come close to the end of the US Open here, I kind of gauge it by that. AEW felt like they were on top of the world, man.
They were.
Right? Everything was beautiful. And now it's just kind of like all these kind of
The
little
honeymoon phase is over now, right?
well, like I said from the very get-go, man, we both said it. Their roster is oversaturated. There's
It's
just
way too many
way too
people.
many people on there. Um,
The
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
Tony Khan, he doesn't have that. You know, when you get a guy like Vince McMahon, you know he's got that. He's got that boss feel. Like he's a good guy, but if you piss him off, he'll send you home. He'll fire you. Tony Khan just feels like he's one of your friends. He doesn't feel like a boss. You know what I mean? He looks like some
Well,
geeky guy watching Star Trek that's
I,
gonna hang out with the boys. And I think that's part of the problem. They don't have an authority figure there to put the
okay,
hammer down.
I was talking to Scotty Matt. We were having a conversation a couple of weeks ago, very similar to kind of what we're talking about right now. And wrestlers in general are very, very protective of the business, regardless of it being a shoot or a work or whatever. The
Mm,
business itself, the actual business, is very protected still by a lot of the athletes that are
yeah,
involved, right? They take a lot of pride in what they do and whatnot. So
yeah.
as much as we love wrestling, if we were to get involved in wrestling, we would not be fully accepted ourselves. We'll always be taken with a grain of salt. We'd always be, especially on the smaller circuits and whatnot, right? Because a lot of those guys toil there for years and years and years, and the last thing they want to see is some guy come in and take all the thunder for nothing, sort
There's
of
a
a
lot of
deal.
paranoia. Yeah,
A
a
lot of
lot of
paranoid.
distrust.
So for example, when it comes to guys who have the money, like wrestlers are wrestlers, right? Then you got your money guy,
Yeah,
right? And he wants to be a part of it, this and that. But even at that stage, a lot of the wrestlers are still very tentative of the money guy because what do you know about the business? You're only supporting the money. So I don't know if that's becoming a case here with Tony Khan because he's all about the money. Yeah, he's a wrestling fan, but he didn't live the business like McMahon did, right?
no,
I mean, McMahon was raised in this. This is all
he's
he's ever known,
just a fan that daddy was rich instead of
right?
buying a
Like
company. Dad,
I
it's pretty
like
much it.
Stephanie is more wrestling
Yeah,
than Tony Khan is.
yeah. She grew up around
right?
Andre Giant and Hogan and
Well,
all those
that's
guys.
it.
Yeah.
Like, Rock, all these guys are more wrestling than Tony Khan ever will be. And I'm talking
Oh
about
yeah.
guys who have the money that could potentially match what he does, right? And it's not really even Tony's money. Let's be honest. It's his
His
dad's
dad's
money,
money. Yeah.
right? It's Rashid Khan's money. So, taking all those things into account, do you almost feel, because like you constantly say, and you're right, AEW is predominantly made up of indie wrestlers,
Yeah.
that they're taking advantage of a situation, or he
They
just
are.
doesn't know how to control it.
I think Tony Khan needs to bring, if he can't be that guy, he needs to bring in somebody, some sort of authority figure a little bit. Or if you mess around, there's going to be a little bit of repercussions.
Yeah.
There's no fear in there right now, you know?
No, no,
I
there's
don't know
no
who that
fear.
would be, but somebody.
Well, like I said, they have created a new kind of division that deals with more of the talent relations and what have you. And I think we're seeing why structure has to work in wrestling here.
Yeah, it has to
The
be.
one thing that I always thought that AEW um was lucky to have the opportunity to do was let guys, do their own promos, let them shine for their own true talents and what
Yeah.
what got them to the dance. I'm not saying guys need to write their promos or stuff like that, but I think they need to start bringing in some control, because now we're kind of seeing. I'm not saying it's a WCW type of situation where everyone's a booker. I don't think that's
Yeah.
the case, but I do believe there are way too many cooks in that one little kitchen right now.
There is.
And I think they're trying to make the right steps by having this creative division come into play. But then again, it's all guys like Sanjay Dutt and you know Tony Schiavone and things like that are going to be running it. So I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if they can figure this out, because, like I
Punk needs
said,
to face some sort of disciplinary action for that, though.
well, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. We'll find out. I guess we'll see, right?
But
But
I'm
yeah,
glad that Ace Steel guy got fired. I'll send a
yeah.
message to Punk, you know?
Well, I mean, you can't really fire Punk. He's your golden boy right now.
No, you can't really fire him, but you can say, okay, you're going to lose next pay per view, and just bury him.
Give it to MJF.
Yeah, he's not worth it, man. He's in his late 40s. He's a cancer everywhere he goes. He's a big mouth. He's rude. I mean, yes, he has some fans and he's talented, but it's not worth all this. Guys are getting knocked out. What if Jackson has a permanent, like some sort of brain damage for this concussion? He might have got a concussion. We don't know.
Well, like I
But
said,
then what?
the one saving grace that Ace Steel and CM Punk have is that the cops never did show up and no charges were laid. So again, this is story unfolding. It's basically just happened, I guess, yesterday morning.
Yeah, I
So
heard about this.
I mean, I don't know how much more reference you're going to get, but I'm sure things will keep kind of popping out.
Dynamite will be interesting, that's for sure.
Well, and if anyone's laughing right now, it's Triple H and the boys back in Stamford. They're
Speaking
going to
of
be
Triple H, I'm
loving this.
glad you brought that up. I watched an interview with him yesterday. He had a funny comment with Ariel Hawani. He said, "Good for AEW, they beat our development system."
Yeah,
when
yeah,
they beat
but that's
NXT.
what it
That was a good
was.
comment.
No,
Yeah,
it was
no,
true though, right? But then at the time, I think a lot of people were arguing at that time the NXT that they were going up against was actually doing better than Raw and SmackDown.
some people say the show was better. The ratings weren't, though. That's the thing.
Well, it's just
But
on
else, did
a
you watch that
Tuesday.
interview?
Yeah, I was the one who told you
It
to
wasn't
watch it.
bad.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I was the one who told you to watch it, pro.
Yeah, I finally watched it. It was good. I mean, Hawani threw him a lot of softballs, but the one thing that I'll praise Triple H for, and I totally agree with him, is the high respect and the high regard he has for his father-in-law. He even says one man can't do what Vince can do, but a
No,
bunch of us can. He's like, Vince told me, make this your show if I don't like it. So he's nothing but praise. He's not bad mouthing
yeah,
Vince. He's praising him for his spot. So
yeah.
classy guy.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
threw him some
good
softballs,
interview.
but he also threw him some, questions that people really wanted answers to. And I think that, Triple H did a great job answering all the questions.
Yeah,
And
I was hoping Tony would have went in there and said, "So what happened with your father-in-law?" But all Triple H is a bunch of drama. So Tony kind of, or Ariel kind of backed off a bit, but he doesn't want to piss him off either.
well,
Wants
you
to come
can't
back. I
piss him
get it.
off either, because Ariel's working for BT at this point, right?
Yeah, I know.
And BT is the major contract holder for WWE. So,
And I'm glad he brought up the Scott Hall thing. So it was good.
yeah, no, it was a great interview. I really enjoyed it. I mean, Hawani does some good work. Sometimes he's really boring, but sometimes he's really good too. I'll be fair.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, not my
Um,
favorite guy, but he's not bad.
no, he's all right. He's good at what he does. Um, Top five? Anything?
Yeah, I got a top five for you.
Sure.
Name your top five favorite wrestling promotions that aren't WWE
Existent or
all
non-existent?
time.
All time? Well, okay, it'd be Stampede Wrestling #1.
Okay.
Reason being is I did not know what WWE was. The first wrestling I ever experienced was Stampede.
Okay.
And from there I discovered WWE. All right, so Stampede Wrestling, AWA,
Okay.
definitely. So Stampede, AWA, WCW, NWA, more so
Okay.
the 80s going into the early 90s.
Got one more.
No, two more.
Are you gonna count WCW and NWA as one?
No, because they were the same promotion,
Okay, so you got two more.
right? And also growing up as a kid, I was a fan of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. We used to get that from time to time, so that was like a treat wrestling that you used to get.
Okay.
And UWF, we used to come on Sunday nights on what is the CW11 today, I guess, or whatever the CW is in your
Okay.
part of the world. Yeah. You?
Solid.
You got
Good.
one?
So I got mine. Yeah. Well, I'm obviously WCW. WCW. I didn't really watch much Stampede. A little bit when I was a kid, right? Because it wasn't late '80s, right? I was only like 6,
Yeah, so
5 or
for
6.
me,
I've
I
seen a
got
little
it.
bit of it.
I got it at 8 years old. So,
Yeah. And
that
then
was
I'll
my
have to say AWA just because I bought a bunch of their DVDs like 10 years ago when WWE put them out. I watched a bunch of that stuff.
yeah.
So throw that in there. And I'm
Nice.
gonna throw a curveball in there. I'll say TNA for the first like 5-6 years was really good.
Fair
I
enough, man.
liked
I didn't
it.
even I didn't think
And
about
then
TNA.
TNA, right? Was
Yeah.
good. What else? It's tough, man.
It's kind
I
of
don't
weird. We
know.
kind of grew up in a kind of, or generationally, I mean,
And
we're
I'm gonna throw in All Star Wrestling back in the '80s and '90s because I seen that when I was a kid, local out here,
there you
right?
go. So All
So
Star would be your Stampede.
yeah, I mean, I did see a little bit of Stampede. I met when I was like 8, 8, 9, but I was like 6 or 7. I can't remember all of it. I remember
Yeah.
seeing the Hearts and a few guys like that, and
Yeah,
Bad News
yeah.
Brown.
Yeah. No, I just remember it because I watched it like as a little kid. It's, it used to come on KVUS Channel 13, which is now City TV. Right?
Yeah,
Like, I mean, those are good old days, man. Mr. Michaels, guess what I got in the mail today?
so I've seen that. I haven't got mine yet. I should be here any day. I hope.
Yeah, I got my copy of Uncontrolled Chaos by Mr. Beefy Goodness himself, Vance, Nevada. I tell you what, I just flipped through the pages. It looks like a Bible,
Dude, he put a lot of hard work into that, man. I can't wait to
right?
read it.
Like it's a big book, bro.
Oh,
It's
I bet.
big. Like I didn't think it was that big. It's actually legit. Fucking big, man. It looks like a Bible and the paper, like there's no cutting around the corners. Like every page has something on it. It's phenomenal.
Dude, I can't wait to check it out. As soon as we finish reading that, we'll have him back.
Yeah, no,
Talk about the
100%.
book.
Yeah. So,
That'll be
we
a
we
fun conversation. There's so much stuff in there we don't even know about.
oh, definitely. I'm gonna get on it tonight. I don't think I'll be watching any Netflix or anything before bed
Too bad
tonight.
Vance doesn't have an Audible book of it because they can just play it while we drive, get through it real
No,
quick.
you know what? This is awesome because at the end of the day, I think we're losing the art of, like, people read, don't get me wrong, okay? I
Yeah,
don't
I
know how
know
to
what you mean.
word this, but flipping pages is a dying art form.
It is, and it's nice to have the original copy. You get the pictures and you get the hard
But it's just
cover.
a book. The book smell, the binding, just I miss it. Like I really do. Like I'm really trying hard just to read, books and not use the phone to read, a novel or something. It's
Or
so
listen to
easy,
it. Yeah,
right? Like I don't mind listening to an audio book or whatnot, but just the art form of reading itself, man. I mean, that's the great children need to read more. I'm gonna say
yeah.
it right now.
That's an art form that's fading from the kids. I know the teachers make them read, but not like we used to.
No, but it's reading is so crucial, man. It's crucial to attention spans and
Yeah,
everything. And that's just another reason why all these things are declining. I, I'm
100%
sur-
agree with
I'm
you.
surprised. Have they done that in baseball yet, where they have a pitch count, like a timer on the pitcher now?
So they do in the minors, so single A, double A, and triple A. Major leagues are starting that next year.
How do you feel about that
They're saying that it's shaved about 40 minutes off each game in the minors, so they're going to try to shave about 40 minutes off each game
in the majors?
in the majors. That's
But
the goal.
okay,
They
but
always
but
test it out in the minors before they bring it up.
but do you feel that it's taking away from the tradition of the game?
I do. I wouldn't do it myself if I was Rob Manfred, but he's trying to speed it up. He's trying to appeal to. He's already got the guys our age that are fans. He wants to, like our kids' age, to start getting into. I guess I think if they speed up a little bit, they might enjoy it more. I guess kind of
But
what
do
they're
you
going for
feel that it's going to change the dynamic of the players involved?
a little
Like,
bit.
I mean, pitchers are going to be affected by this, right? I mean, what's your recovery time now going to be between pitches or whatnot? Like, I don't know. Like, is this going to open up to more injuries? I get it, double A or single A, double A, triple A. Yeah, you have some quality guys up there, and probably the closest to the major leaguers would be double A or triple A, right? For the
Triple
most
A's
part,
closest, yeah.
right? But you still got spatterings of guys who could be in the majors
Yeah.
in single and double as well, right? But at that level, at the MLB level, don't you feel that it's going to affect the pitcher's arms? Like it's susceptible,
Well, yeah, because they're
more
used to
open to
standing there and
injury?
take a little more time.
Well, it's just more open to injury, don't you think? Or do you figure they'll figure that out?
Well, I guess they figure that hasn't created any more injuries in the minors yet. So I guess figuring that these pros should be okay. We'll see. Maybe it will.
But
I,
see
I
that
agree. I think it will, but
I think and that comes to my point. Like the power and the energy and the way you pitch in the major leagues is much different than you would
100%.
right? So how can you put that into a system without testing it first? If anything, try it out in the preseason.
Yeah, I know they're going all in next year. It's 100% on the table. So they're going to have a pitch clock.
Well, Major League Baseball and the Players Association had to agree to it, so the players must be okay with it. Who am I to say?
Yeah, I guess just trying to expand the game. We got some younger fans excited. I guess I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely. All right, brother man. Listen, let's wrap it up here. Quick
Okay.
reminder: All Star Wrestling is back October 3rd at the Maritime Center in Vancouver. Their first show since I guess May or June. May?
Yeah, we were at that one. Yeah, should
Yeah,
be
it was
fun.
last May. So welcome back, lads. Looking forward to that. Once we get some more details on that card, we will get back to you and let you know all about it. This weekend at the Hollow Stampede grounds, we have the tournament happening. I will be out that way. Hopefully we can catch some names and get some interviews in. And we have that coming up as well. Boxing, I want to talk about boxing because so much cool shit happened in the last 2 days, man, with Mr. Tyson Fury and all the
But
stuff that he's
basically,
throwing
we'll just
around.
say something real quick here. He's going to beat Joshua, beat Usyk, and then take all the belts and retire and say beat everybody. That's what he's thinking.
I think he is too, right? I mean, okay, well, let's see how it plays out because this weekend, and you were right. I think he got outboxed,
Dude,
but through
I think if Luis Ortiz was 5 years younger, he'd beat him, but he could barely. His legs look shot. He's just
honestly,
too
at the end of
old.
the okay, I get it, he got knocked down, but outside of those three knockdowns, I still say Ortiz outboxed him.
He did.
And he would have
Those three
won if he did.
knockdowns he got
But
for
those
him.
three knockdowns were the only thing that screwed him. It's a big thing, obviously. But anyways,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that and so
Yeah,
much
be
more in
fun.
the world of boxing. Great card coming up in the UK this weekend as well. We'll talk about that a little bit. But in the meantime and in between time, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to say something. I'm Bobby Sampson, and
And in
with
the
me,
words of the eighth grade ACDC, those who download, like, and subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
Mr. Chance Michaels. And in the words of the infamous Ed Whalen, and I will be honored and privileged to step into the same grounds that he worked in. In the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp&Chance. Everyone have a safe rest of your first week back at work. And we will talk to you guys soon. Samp and Chance are out.